Hey everyone, how's it going? Welcome back to Let's Play Darksiders 2. So last time we traded an interdiction for this Soul Splitter, which we have to use right away just to get into the largest dungeon in the zone, the City of the Dead. Soul Splitter splits you into two deaths that you can switch between on the fly, and... Really? That's what we're doing. 1 minute into the not even a minute. Okay, this is a problem. Because it didn't just crash, it feels like it soft-locked the PS4. Yeah, like you hear me switching between menus and stuff, but nothing's happening. I'm pressing buttons, I can't scroll on the XMB. This is not how this menu is supposed to look. Oh, fucking cool. So anyway... Jesus, Darksiders 2 is falling apart as I play it. We're not going to be using the statue. I don't know where I left off. We're not going to be using the Reaper statue for this puzzle. But those levers that we were pulling, the giant statues, if you let go of them, they will gradually slide back into the position they started in. Which is why you need both deaths to pull them and hold them in place. Just to get into the dungeon. So that crash before locked my whole PS4 up. So it couldn't even restart or be turned off without pulling the power cable. So that was real cool. And they're just restocking us as we go into the final dungeon of the zone. Because this is, of course, another big step up. Just like the Foundry was for the Forge Lands. So Soul Splitter is even cooler, I think, as a puzzle-solving tool than Interdiction was, because it's more hands-on. Whereas Interdiction is kind of like set it and forget it. You just give the command and then wait for the Lords of the Dead to slowly shamble on over and do a thing. This is a lot more hands-on. You retain agency. It's a little more flexible with what kind of objects you can interact with. You can still fight while you're doing it, while you're split in two. And there are more creative ways that they can use this mechanic compared to Interdiction. And I already kind of liked Interdiction, but this is a much more interesting variant of that. And so we get more interesting puzzles as a result. There are trade-offs, like you could use the Lords of the Dead to pull aggro with Interdiction, but you can't do that with Soul Splitter. There are a couple of things that you cannot do. There are a couple of capabilities that we lost, but nothing really major. I think it's overall a just straight-up upgrade. It's much more interesting. This dungeon has a lot of puzzles which take advantage of it in really creative ways, including figuring out ways around its limitations, which we'll see in some of the early ones in the City of the Dead. Oh, and they start us off with one of these undead generals. They're such a pain in the ass. You have to chip away at them so slowly and treat them differently from other enemies. We're making progress on them up. One thing you can do with these guys is you can do a lot of charged heavy attacks because they will go straight through the shield guard. You can also punish that charging attack occasionally if you try to abuse the charged heavy weapons. You'll eat a hit or two, but it's not anything major. And with the Undead General gone, we are going to do yet another one of these Soul Splitter puzzles. This one would be more familiar as one of the standard Interdiction puzzles they laid out before. But we never got to use all three Lords of the Dead at once. In this case, we actually are going to be using all three elements of the Soul Splitter. We used two outside, and we're going to use three in here. So one, the Stone Reaper statue is going to weigh one switch down. This green soul is going to weigh the other switch down, and the third one, the second one, I guess, that we retain agency over, since we can't control the statue, is going to come up here to hit the switch so we can move on to the next room. I think this mechanic is fucking really cool. And it's a variant on, like, on some classic Zelda items, but it's a really good variant. I've always said Darksiders is at its best when it's using all of its derivativeness in interesting ways. Like, you can clearly see what it's inspired by and what it derives from. But it does so many of those things that it takes inspiration from so well. Let's see, we're gonna have a beam redirecting puzzle in this room later, but we are currently on our way to having to find a lantern to bring back to it. The lantern we will find after we unlock that door. So, step 1 is to find the key to unlock that door, then we'll get the lantern and we'll bring it back here, and that'll let us move on. The Lich Spines are some arm blade weapons which the Lord of Bones used to dethrone the deposed king. And they aren't bad. They are also level 16 weapons. I believe we are just on level 15. We should be hitting level 16, maybe 17 by the end of the dungeon. At this, again, we're going to have to think ahead just a little bit. We're going to soul split right here so as to not get in the way of this lever. Lower the gate, switch over to another soul. You see that there is a big block we can drag. And over here on the other side of the gate, there is a bomb plant. The bomb plant goes right across the gap to the switch that will lower the gate in front of us, letting us pull the block out. Now, the reason that this matters, the reason this is so cool, is not just because we are going to immediately take the block through the gate that's already down. In fact, we're going to release the soul split in a second. The gate will go back up. We're releasing the soul split so we can now go and put the statue on top of the block. So we can't directly control the statue, but we can, say, place the statue on top of something mobile and then move that. And this is how we are going to get to the other side of the gate. Oh, that's so good. What a good-ass puzzle that is. Because you always respawn wherever the statue is. Isn't that nifty? God damn, Darksiders 2. It's been a while since I was impressed by some of these puzzles. Oh, I was waiting for it. I was waiting for the City of the Dead. Oh, yeah. Now we're done with Soul Splitter for a moment or two. I think we want to fall down that hole, which is honestly a little bit too easy to miss. But before we do that, there should be... Well, there's some spectral skeletons, but there's also a chest up here. So we'll just shatter the spooky, scary skeletons real quick. And... I'm not having a lot of success with these chest drops. I'm just getting gold and gray and white garbage. Lots of trash that is not even worth picking up. Because I have limited inventory space. God. On here, we finally come to the key. And a gate that's going to lead us back to that central hub room. So we found a shortcut back to the central hub after getting the key. That's really nice design. And just across the way, the locked door. Through the locked door, again, we will find a way to lower this gate that's now off screen to my left. Because you can see the lantern behind that. So through here, we're going to find a way to lower the gate. Everything kind of revolves for the first half of this dungeon around this hub room. And we get another really amazing puzzle. We're going to soul split right there at that short end of the bridge. And the reason will become evident in a little bit. I mentioned before that there are some limitations to this soul splitter form. One of them is range. Neither of the souls can go too far. I can't move the camera. Alright, we're gonna have to just via con Dio and hope for the best. Hey! It worked out fine. Oh, Darksiders 2. Neither soul can go too far away from the Reaper statue. So, we have to find a way to move the statue once we split souls again, in order to get a little extra range. We do that by moving the bridge 90 degrees. This is one of the best things about the Soul Splitter puzzles, I find, is they force you to come up with a plan well in advance of executing it. It's hard to just do things on the fly with this. These puzzles often require some kind of foresight or forethought and planning. Some careful thinking about what the goal is and how you're going to get there. So since we spun the bridge, once we come down here, notice we're a lot closer to the statue. And we have access to this new route. If we had spawned the statue on the opposite end of the bridge, by the time we get to the switch that we're heading towards, the screen would become all warped and wavy, and we would just barely be out of range to hit this. The gate that you just saw raise is the one that we were fighting that teal skeleton in front of in the main hub room. And once we break that form, there's nothing holding the lever on the second floor, so the bridge just spins back to its original position. Again, a little convenient shortcut, and we can come back out into the hub room and grab the lantern. Now, remember, we're bringing the lantern back to the room that we started going down when we were heading towards the key. Which, this is not correct. Oh shit, which room was that? I'm dumb as hell. Oh, I'm dumb. This is real bad. I'm gonna get beat up by the skeleton as I walk past him because I can't fight until I drop the lantern. I'm not doing that. No, I'm gonna. He's actually too fast. Oh, he went in a big circle. Cool. It was just this one. It's this hallway. Forethought! We're gonna beat this skeleton up before he becomes a problem, because it's a little hard to bypass him. With lantern in hand. Oh, another one. Cool, 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 cool. Good job, friend. You really took advantage of me there. Lantern should be close enough to the edge, because we're going to have to wall run past the gap again, and then, yeah, it is in range. Good. Now for some more beam redirecting. First to this gate over here, because there's a Book of the Dead page beyond it. And then we'll rotate it another 90 degrees. And we'll get that bridge up. Whoops, whoops. My fingers are kind of autopiloting me towards the door. Now I think we're getting ready for round 2 of let's call it a range puzzle. No, this one doesn't actually... Yeah, okay. This won't depend on our range from the statue so much, the puzzle coming up. But it's still clever nonetheless. It actually is another bridge puzzle, in that we have to... Well, first we have to get up here, and then we have to find a way to rotate a bridge and do a whole bunch of shit. That's the summary of, like, every other puzzle. We have to find a way to do a bunch of shit. Oh, we'll get a better look at that serpent that you saw in the periphery in a little bit once we get out into the more open section of the dungeon. Can we get one time something good? One time? Absolutely not. We could not possibly gotten less from that chest. Jesus God almighty. Oh, whoops. She fell out of the juggle. Luckily, our friend has not joined in the other Wraith. There we go. I was having a hard time getting that going. God, that's such a fun air combo. Whoops. Ah, not that time, though. Yeah, it's just a little bit of timing. That was off before. Okay. Okay, so once again, we are going to go right here to the elbow of this bridge. And Soul Split. We'll leave this Purple Death on top of the switch, which would return to its original position, if not for Death weighing it down. Then we'll use Teal Death to go around the other side. The switch just lowered one gate, the one that is directly across from the statue. This will flip this 90 degrees, so that open gate is now accessible, and a different pathway. And we'll use Death Grip on the statue in order to get back across real quick. You could also just release the... Oh, no. Well, yeah, you could, but then you would have to Soul Split a second time and go back. So it's easier to just Death Grip across. Now, we want to use the bomb plant to hit that switch, but oh, let's say you just whiff it completely and oops. Oh, man, now it's so inconvenient that we have to go back and forth to get another bomb and hit that switch again. That's okay, because like so many puzzles in Darksiders 2, this one is really more of a suggestion than a hard and fast rule. That will never not amuse me. How poorly that is thought out. It's fucking amazing. It's just at the right height. All it would have to be is a little bit higher. I think I leapt too early. Yep. Talk shit, fall in a pit. And away we go. Now, a lot of what is coming up might look pretty familiar, and that's because this dungeon is designed super well. Behind us, the gate that we just opened up, by the way, is a shortcut. It's a drop back into the room where the hallway where we headed, where we went towards the lantern statue. But this dungeon really builds on top of itself really well, and it circles back around on itself. As you'll notice, this is the bridge that we spun just a little while ago. Our ultimate goal was to get up here to hit that switch to lower the gate. Now from here, we should just be able to jump it. They may want us to use the ivy to platform back down onto the bridge, so we're just gonna... I think that was the goal. But again, more of a suggestion. This dungeon rocks, man. I love this dungeon. And they have these layered long-term goals that all make sense. Oh, God. City of the Dead's a really, really good dungeon. Then again, that's the case for a lot of the end zone dungeons in DS2. The interstitial ones leading up to the big major dungeons can be a little bit lackluster and feel kind of superfluous, but once you get to stuff like the Foundry, the City of Dead, all that magic just comes screaming back. I'm probably gonna get... Oh no, I didn't get caught on the way down. Thought as I was landing from that juggle, the other one on the ground was winding up to hit me. Oh, another one of you, huh? Now, we could probably pop Reaper form, but you see, every which way there is a Tormentor or a Jailer. No, Jailer was the one from DS1. There's a Tormentor every which way. So if I'm probably going to save Reaper form this whole room, but if I did want to pop Reaper form, honestly, I would rather use it towards the end of the room than just on this general to speed it up. Once the... Oh, you lunge with the glaive. Shit. Once the general is dead, one of the tormentors will come out of the gate. Once the single tormentor is dead, they unleash two on you at once. So this room is a lengthy, fairly tough gauntlet. Charge me. That's probably for the best. That did not seem like a huge hit, even though he was not guarding that and it was fully charged. Shit. That's a much more solid connection. Oh, and that was just enough XP to put me up to level 16. The Reaper Form enhancement means that it is much closer in its power to Chaos Form from Darksiders 1. It lasts longer, it hits harder. I think there's more of an inherent life leech on it now. Might be wrong about that last one. The big important part, though, is just that the duration is longer. So it lasts approximately as long as the base Chaos Form for War in Darksiders 1. And occasionally you'll get stuff like that, like just when you level up, you'll get little passive benefits, like we got at level, what was I say, 11 or 12. We got the upgrade for our evade. We got the perfect evade. I would like him. Wow, that attack sucks. Doesn't even hurt, it's just a big get off me that he gets. This AoE roar. Yeah, okay, this is where I want him. More towards the center of the room. Or even the gates aren't that bad to fight him near. It's just that wall near the door at the other end sucks. It's a very tight space. Ooh, I just saw a really good set of purple boots. Oh, I want to get my hands on those, but I have to fight for them. And we will get more or less unlimited wrath, so we can just do whatever we want against the Tormentor. Yeah, I think I am going to save Reaper Form. I could pop it here, and I'd probably kill both of them, but I'm not sure. May as well just save it for something that's actually a big pain in the ass or a big threat. I know that you don't have that much health left. I just want to burn you down a little bit more. More importantly, I want to get multiple hits with the Reaper, or the Harvest. Because the more enemies I hit at once with it, the more of a buff I get. It's just you left. Oh, shit. Oh, and that backswing hit me on that. I was behind him when I got hit. Oh, not quite enough to teleport / through to the other side. It's a nice way to evade a lot of their attacks, aside from the little AoE roar, but then that's not a huge threat anyway. Oh no! I was trying to do 2 different inputs at once. I wound up activating Reaper Form by accident. Oh, that sucks. I wish I would have at least done that at the start of the fight. Or at the start of the 2 tormentors at once. Oh, that sucks. That's a really, really good purple. Finally getting some good drops. That's not half bad either. And that's going to do it for now. Thanks for watching, everyone. We will take on the second half of Dungeon next time. Take it easy. Have a good one, y'all.